Forgetting that church is not just about tithe, offering, prayer, fasting, and preaching, many Nigerian pastors turned their backs on their congregation by refusing to speak out during the EndSARS protest. Apart from Pastor Sam Adeyemi of Daystar Christian Center, many Nigerian pastors pretended initially like their members are not affected by police brutality and extrajudicial killings. A few months before, particularly at the advent of the COVID-19 pandemic in the country, these same pastors who suddenly grew mute made the loudest noises about the government's decision to close down churches temporarily, going as far as spreading conspiracy theories that the pandemic was created to popularize the 5G network while proclaiming it as part of the Antichrist plan for a new world order. These pastors caused a lot of chaos, disaffection, infighting, and divisions among Christians. These pastors focused their preaching of many weeks on the closure of churches while climbing mountains to drive away the demons behind COVID-19. This is also not forgetting how they were so quick to criticize Kama and stating how they smell rats. Interestingly, majority of these prophets and their congregations did not see the same energy during the EndSARS protest. It wasn't until popular religion critic and Daddy Freeze begged them to stand with the people like Martin Luther King did before they began speaking. These would later see the likes of Pastor Adeboye, Bishop Oyedepo, Apostle John Suleiman, Tunde Bakari, Paul Adefarasin, Godman Akinlabi, Father Mbaka, and even Bishop Mike Okonkwo condemn police brutality. Sadly, some other popular pastors remained obstinate and have not said a word on the EndSARS protest or the gruesome Lekki massacre that followed. On this note, we will be talking about these top pastors who were mute about the EndSARS protest and remained silent about the Lekki massacre. Hello guys, it's T-Code here for African Glitz. David Ibiyame, Port Harcourt-based pastor David Ibiyame of Salvation Ministries was among the first pastors that labeled the COVID-19 pandemic a scam while proclaiming that malaria has killed more people than the virus, also stating that the federal government is using the pandemic to embezzle funds and cripple Christianity in the country. David Ibiyame condemned the government vehemently. As a matter of fact, Pastor Ibiyame lost the respect of many as they tagged him as a pastorpreneur for this singular act. During the EndSARS protest, some believed the perfect opportunity for him to regain his respect by speaking up against extrajudicial killings and encouraging his members to protest. Pastor Ibiyame was mute about the protest and has also remained mute about the Lekki massacre as well as Obigbo massacre in Port Harcourt. Daniel Olukoya, the founder and general overseer of Mountain of Fire and Miracle Ministries, Pastor Daniel Olukoya, went about his church 70 days fasting and prayer season like the EndSARS protest wasn't ongoing. Of course, many called on him to lend his voice to the protest, but he remained mute on the movement. Sadly, after the Lekki massacre, he regained his voice and condemned the gruesome killing of EndSARS protesters. According to him, he was saddened by the shooting while he prayed for peace in Nigeria. He then advised the government to use the utmost care and caution in conjunction with divine wisdom in preferring a lasting solution to police brutality. But like you must have guessed, Pastor Olukoya has been tagged a latecomer. The saying, better late than never, doesn't apply in this case. T.B. Joshua. Prophet T.B. Joshua of Synagogue Church of All Nations is known for his miracles and prophecies which sometimes comes to pass. Yes, some of his prophecies of the US elections came to pass, and even the president of South Sudan recently appreciated him for the role he played in bringing peace to the war-ridden country. This is how powerful many see this man of God. Sadly, Prophet T.B. Joshua was mute on the EndSARS protest and has continued in his silence since the Lekki massacre as well. This act has left many baffled, especially since he spoke during the COVID-19 pandemic and even went to the mountain to pray against it. It also doesn't help that he failed to mention the COVID-19 pandemic and Lekki massacre during his 2020 prophecies, causing many to now doubt his authenticity. William Kumuyi. Deeper Christian Life Ministries General Overseer, Pastor Kumuyi, must have been listening to Fem by Davido, seeing as he refused to lend his voice to the EndSARS protest or encourage his members to protest. Also, as a pastor, it is expected that he condemns the use of excessive force by the Nigerian military, which resulted in the killing of several EndSARS protesters at the Lekki toll gate. But Pastor Kumuyi has remained mute over this sad incident as well. Chris Boyakilome. Pastor Chris Boyakilome of Christ Embassy Church silence on the EndSARS protest and Lekki massacre has become deafening. Taking a look back at how he condemned the closure of churches due to the pandemic and went about ranting over the relationship between COVID-19, 5G technology, and the Antichrist, many Christians have been wondering what's taking him so long to speak about the protest and sad Lekki massacre incident. Ayo Orisha, former president of the Christian Association of Nigeria and founder of Word of Life Bible Church, Pastor Chris Orisha is popularly known for his controversial utterances. In the past, he has been in the forefront of condemning bad governance and ills in society. Sadly, Pastor Orisha has been silent about the EndSARS protest and the Lekki massacre. Was he paid by the government to remain quiet? Many have continued to ask. Lazaros Morka. It's no surprise that Pastor Lazaros Morka of the Lord's Chosen Charismatic Revival Movement Church was mute on the EndSARS protest. In the past, Pastor Morka has always distanced himself from things related to protest or the government. Notwithstanding, many expected him to condemn the Lekki massacre. Biodun Fatoyinbo. Pastor Biodun Fatoyinbo of the Commonwealth of Zion Assembly, COZA, is equally among the popular pastors who were mute during the EndSARS movement. Also, in the wake of the Lekki massacre and up till this present moment, Pastor Biodun has not condemned the killings. Seeing as Pastor Biodun has been keeping a low profile since the Busola Dakolo abuse saga, many have written him off already. Chris Okotier. I bet you all remember how popular Nigerian televangelist Chris Okotier vehemently condemned the closure of churches and later government social distancing guidelines during church services to curb the spread of COVID-19. Sadly, it has also gone down in history that Pastor Chris Okotier took too long to speak on the EndSARS protest. For a protest that had been going on for days, he spoke for the first time on the same day as the sad Lekki massacre. What took him so long? Was he on the mountain praying for Nigeria? Was he warned by politicians to remain mute? We would never know. Rev Wilson Badie, seen as the incumbent General Overseer of Foursquare Gospel Church, Reverend Sam Aboyeji lent his voice during the EndSARS protest and even condemned the Lekki massacre. Many expected that the former General Overseer of the church would follow suit. Sadly, the reverse has been the case. Reverend Sam Badie refused to lend his voice during the Lekki incident and is yet to condemn the Lekki massacre publicly as well. And there you have it. Are you shocked that none of these powerful speakers spoke out? Which one surprises you the most? If you found this video informative, please give it a thumbs up and share. Don't forget to check out our channel for more interesting African stories and news we know you'll like. Subscribe to get notifications whenever we drop a new juicy video to keep you updated. Thanks for watching and see you on our next one.